Good day and welcome to Group Chat, your weekly podcast for everything disability. Today we're going to be talking about board members and people with disability in Australia. Please like and share, and if you got any comments, please write it in the comment box. Over to you, Cunningham.
Thank you, David. Welcome, guys. Thanks for that brilliant intro. Let's say so we're our guest contributors today, actually, for this episode today, actually are Ibby D, who's the Director and President of Diversity and Disability Alliance. Good day to you, Ibby.
Good day. Thank you for having us.
Jonathan Shar, who's the Founder, Director and President of Australian Disability Limited, who's Group Chat's parent company. G'day, Jonathan.
Hello.
Yeah, and David Daoud, of course, you heard before, who's Director and Vice President of Australian Disability Limited, parent company of Group Chat Australia. And look, this discussion is going to be on board representation, of course, and I'll be just asking some questions, and then, we'll go from there. So, how have you all been today, guys?
Yeah, very good, Cunningham. Thank you for asking.
Fantastic.
How about you, David Dowd? How are things going on your end?
All good, thank God, and just taking it easy, trying to do what we can do.
Yeah, and Jonathan?
I've been doing well, all the better for talking to you.
Tell us a bit about yourselves and your reason for becoming a director and office bearer of a company. I'll start off with Ibby. Where you go, Ibby?
No, it's Cunningham. My name is Ibby. So I do work with Australian Disability Limited as a treasurer on the board, but also I got into the board just to build up my knowledge and my experiences. I am part of the board for Diversity and Disability Alliance. So in terms of representation on the board, I started off as a secretary back in 2018, and then from there I grew. I became treasurer in the year 2020, and then now finally I'm now the president for Diversity and Disability Alliance. It's a not-for-profit organization that deals with promoting peace support groups all around Australia. So Sydney, sorry about that. I've taken on the role to sort of lead this amazing organization, and hopefully with the knowledge and skills I've endured during my time on the board, I have to reflect that into my new role here in Australian Disability. So it's all been a learning curve for me. That's enough for me.
Now, Jonathan, tell us about you first.
So, I've previously been a board director and treasurer of Physical Disability Australia. I started and incorporated the association with my dad, which was the precursor to Australian disability.
Fantastic.
Cool.
That's really impressive, and of course, we all wouldn't be here without you too. So that's really quite an impressive feat, I think, to be part of that. David, a bit about you?
My name is David, and I'm a Vice President of Australian Disability. and also a board member of Australia Disability Australia Alliance. That's the way. I guess I joined in because it was a bit hard at the beginning because I wasn't knowing what to expect, but because they've given me, they guide me through it, and I can't see. They have someone that can read me some notes and discuss it with me before the board meeting and get my opinions.
Yeah.
That's really great, David. Good stuff. So guys, what do we think about prior experience of that you guys have had to become directors and office bearers? What do you think about that? Anyone to go for that?
What was the question?
What was your guys' prior experiences that you brought to your role as a director and office bearer?
Look, for me, it's all about, building your skills and knowledge as you I guess, progress throughout your journey as a board member. At first, when I started, I had little or no knowledge of how a board is run. I was very stressed out, nervous. I was scared that I might stuff up or, I might get things wrong in the process. But it's good to have that kind of mentor, and that guidance from your fellow board members, when you start on your journey. And from there, you start growing.
Yeah.
And you learn, along the way. It's an amazing experience. There's always that support, that's what makes people, different organizations are looking for, disability representation. And so they encourage people to join the board. It's what it's all about. There's always support out there. For David, for example, in his situation, there are, we have staff members who, I guess, support David in terms of documents, accessing documents, getting his point of view on a certain situation. But that's enough for me. David, tell us, how has it been during your last year as a board member?
Well, look, at the end, at first you don't know what to expect, but at the end, when you jumped in heads first, but at the end they pick you up and help you survive and go through it. It's a breeze at the end.
Yeah.
You get taught the ropes.
Yeah.
But at the end, if you don't jump in the deep end, you're not going to learn.
Of course, you got to put yourself
It's not
out
like they're going to leave you alone. They're not going to just leave you.
Jonathan?
They didn't just leave me alone. They told me how to do it, what to do, when to do it.
Yeah.
And from there, I helped others because others saw that I could do it.
Amazing stuff. Thank you, David.
Yeah, Jonathan, what's your prior experience?
It's all about learning and cooperating between each other, having mentors and knowing what questions to ask.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very important, but building on what Jonathan said, having mentors, to mentor you along the journey.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question related to actually challenges you've had in your role as a director and office bearer. I was keen to ask you all, like, whether you actually had a challenge and just how did you actually manage to resolve it?
Look, the challenges that I faced during my time as a board member, we've had a lot of challenges, along the way. It doesn't come easy, There's always challenges that are, waiting for you. But I guess very important to take into consideration that you're not alone in this, and you do have, support around you. Great board are ones that are, donate their time, donate their knowledge, experiences to help others, I guess, become more involved with the board. There's really no use to be on the board if you're not gonna spend your time and your commitment, looking out for the organization. There's really no use for you to be joining on the board. And so the reason why it's very important to understand that when you choose people, when you invite people to join the board, it's very important that they know that they must be involved in the decision making, must be involved in, I guess, looking at the strategies to make the organization grow.
They have to be prepared to put time and effort.
Of course. And so the challenges I've come across, in terms of my secretary role, how to do minutes, for example.
Yeah.
But we use a template, so that's helped me, progress. As a treasurer, things like looking at financial statements, dealing with the auditor, things like that. What does the treasurer actually do? And so I looked at, our former treasurer on the board, for guidance, for support. And that's why I tell you, it's always important that you have that support body that will help you along the way. So you're never alone in this.
A good member is one that's got your back.
Jonathan? Hang on.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, Jonathan, tell me your challenge, Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan.
To, I guess, familiarize yourself with the processes and systems of each organization and reach out for help from the staff.
Very important. Thank you for that.
Agreed. Okay. So say if a person wants to actually join a company as a director, right? Then tell me your thoughts as to what qualities, attributes, skills, and knowledge you think they should actually have before they actually join the board. What actually attributes and qualities are useful in actually becoming a director when you actually have a disability?
They need to know how to type.
What do you think?
And then they need to be able to lead by example.
But David, sorry about that. You mentioned something about they need to learn how to type. In what way, David?
Well, be able to use a computer and put things together. Put their their input in.
Yep.
Because you don't want someone that can't do things for themselves.
Exactly.
You don't just want a voice. You want someone that can get work done and do their own research.
Tell me what you think of evaluating skills and whatnot, Ibby.
Look, they need to understand the organization. They need to research what the organization is about, before they join their board.
Yeah.
That will, I guess, help them out in the decision making as well. And also,
also they've got to have the same beliefs, of their mentality of the actual organization. If you can't put yourself in the same mind frame as the organization, then you don't belong there.
Yeah.
So they gotta have the same values. Yep.
Yeah.
But it's okay if
Okay.
they don't agree with something. Then they can bring it to the board and they can have a discussion as to why, someone disagrees with something.
And
Yep.
that's what it creates,
Yeah.
discussion.
Jonathan, what
Exactly.
skills do you think would be useful?
It's
Jonathan?
useful to have skills which complement each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Skills that complement each other. Exactly.
So now, guys, it comes to a rather profound and deep question. I will need to ask you what your vision is for those who actually have disabilities who wish to join a company or a board within our disability community and our support services sector. So what do you guys think of the vision for how we can contribute to how our sector runs ourselves? What do we think about that? David, your vision first?
My vision
Yeah.
is we put our ideas through, and we always try to better ourselves in the way we represent things and make it easier for people to follow us and have their say.
Ibby, what's yours?
More disability representation on the board, very important. It's good to get people with disability, build their skills, build their knowledge on what being on the board is all about, so that they can contribute and share their ideas to make our organizations more accessible, more inclusive, and so that's the vision that we need to look forward to. Thank you for that, Cunningham.
Yeah, Jonathan, what's your vision for how we contribute to our sector better on boards?
In my view, every disability service provider should be obligated to have board representation and representation in senior management.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a really great idea, Jonathan. So, guys, that concludes the interview. Now we'll go to final thoughts. Final thoughts, Ibby?
Well, people with disability need to be represented on the board. Simple as that. Look out for people with disability out there. Look for opportunities to get on the board. Identify and do your research about what the organization's all about, and get yourself involved. It's good to learn some skills, gain some knowledge, share some expertise, and mentor others around you. And so we strongly urge you that you get yourself out there and be a part of our community, be more inclusive. Thank you, Cunningham. Over to you, David.
My final thought is we should never be afraid to be on the board or join the board even though we've got a disability. Because we have a disability, we will be, no matter if you have a disability or not, there's others out there and they're there to help, not to make fun of you. We're all there to work together, and don't be afraid to put your hand up, because there's help and there's guidance. We can all guide each other in the best way. We can do things, and it's all a learning curve. So don't be afraid. No one's perfect. You only get perfect.
Good answer that. Good final thoughts there, David.
You only become perfect. You get to perfection by practice.
Awesome. So, final thought goes to our founder as well. The final thought goes to Jonathan. Jonathan, what's your final thoughts?
Final sorted if we're on a present at the top of organizations, how can our wishes be honored?
Agreed.
Good stuff.
Definitely. So, that concludes the episode for today. I'll now hand it over to Ibby to do the outro and keep watching Crypt Chat. Thanks, guys.
Join us next week. Goodbye for now.